So Sute Devi. Sute means child of Rishabhanu Devi. Pranamami Hari. I offer my obeisances. We can let's read the translation. Or maybe in fact start from you, Aishwarya.
So just read that.
I offer my respects. I can read it better.
Yeah.
I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like a golden gold, and who is the queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Rishabhan, and you are very dear to Lord Krishna.
Yeah. Below S, if there is a dot, then it is sh. Right? BH is bha. Because there is a line, it is ha. So bha. Nu. Small nu. There is a line about u, there is u, then there is u. And you are very dear to Hari Priye. Hari is who? Krishna. Right? Hari Priye. So you are very dear to Lord Krishna. This verse talks about devotees, Vaishnavas. They are like Kalpataru, wish fulfilling trees. We'll sing together. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. For this Kaliyuga, the topmost dharma is the Yuga dharma is chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So we'll start with our Bhagavad Gita. Before that, I just want you to read one verse I will put here. Just for one word in the purport, in the commentary, they are reading the entire verse. I'll tell you which part of the commentary. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. There is a story where Parishit Maharaj was just about to, he came to know that he is about to die. He had only 7 days to live. And what he did is, he took shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam of hearing from Shukadeva Goswami. Okay, so you can repeat after me. Tavapitarhi Kauravya Saptaham Jivitavadi. Sapta means 7 days. Sapta. And 8 is Ashta, Janmashtami. Right? Nava is 9. Ram Navami. Upakalpayat Sarvam. Tavadyat Samparadikyam. Translation. What's your name? Nikita. Please read.
Maharaja Parikshit, now your duration of life is limited to 7 more.
Who is saying this?
Sukadeva.
Shukadeva Goswami. Shukadeva Goswami is saying this.
So during this time, you can perform all those rituals which are needed for the best purpose of your next life.
See, imagine you have only 7 days to live. Right? You have so many things to do. But now you will pick up only those things which are the most important. Correct? So let's see what Parishit Maharaj is taking. Right? So, purport. Maybe my
Sukadeva Goswami, after citing the example of Maharaja Katmanga, who prepared himself for the next life within a very short time, encouraged Maharaja Parikshit by saying that since he still had 7 days at his disposal, he could easily take advantage of the time to prepare himself for the next life.
It is said the entire life is a preparation, and end of life is an examination. At the end of the life, we will know what body we are taking. Right? But how we will know? How we are preparing throughout this life. So in this case, Shukdev Goswami is warning Parikshit Maharaj that now you have only 7 days to live. In our case also we have 7 days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Right? So now what we should do, Parikshit Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami is saying to Parikshit Maharaj, what you should do because you have such a short span of life remaining.
Indirectly, the Goswami told Maharaja that he should take shelter of the sound representation of
This is
the
the
Lord.
part that because of which we read them. He's saying you should take shelter of sound representation of the Lord. What is the sound representation? The words of the Lord. It is said, Bhagavad Gita is said, the words of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam is said as the actions of the Lord. And Chaitanya Chaitanya is known as mind of the Lord. So what we are doing today is hearing the words of the Lord. It's considered as a sound representation of the Lord. Lord appears in the form of sound, obviously in the form of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but also in the form of Bhagavad Gita. These are direct words of the Lord.
For the 7 days, still remaining in the duration of his life, and thus get himself liberated. In other words, everyone can best prepare himself for the next life simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam,
In bracket or Bhagavad Gita.
as it was recited by Sukdev Goswami to Maharaja Parikshit. The rituals are not formal, but there are also some favorable conditions which are required to be carried out as instructed hereafter.
Yeah. In our life, we waste so much of our time in doing all sorts of nonsense things. We read things which are all nonsense, right? Right? Either we'll go on Instagram or we'll go on Facebook or maybe what other social media is like. Something or the other we'll go through, right? Twitter. Yeah, Twitter also I don't remember Twitter. So all those kind of things will go, and then we'll realize that we just wasted our time. Right? So the spiritual topics are such that every time we read, we get new realizations. And Navam, it's always new. You will always feel. One reason is obviously Man Bhuti because you forget. That is the reason. Another reason is because the spiritual topics are such that you'll always find something new in them. Like I was telling the class today. Yesterday my manager took off. She was working from home. It's a blessing in disguise. So, so what we did is we thought okay we'll read little bit. My colleague, me and myself, Jeevan, we both were reading. We started at 12 o'clock after our 11 to 12 meeting. And 12 to 12:30 I had a meeting with Avanish Prabhu and the devotee. We were reading Chaitanya Chaitanya. And 12:30 I pinged Jeevan. Since manager is not there, you come to this room. We will read a little bit. 12:30 we started. It went till 3:30. We kept reading because there was no ping that came from anyone. No, because every time we were reading something, we were reading some book. Every time we were reading Srimad Bhagavatam, the commentary by Vishnu Chakri Thakur. And so much things were there in that. We kept reading. Then we reached 3:30. Then I said, we have to leave. I have to leave now for another reading. This was from Krishna book, 3:45 to 4:30. So the Vaishnavas, they feel a lot of joy when they hear about Krishna. Today we were reading Krishna book, and Sundaram is another devotee, and there were many other devotees. We were all feeling so much joyful just reading the pastimes of Krishna. Just reading. Imagine, see, when you go to news channels, how many times we are feeling joyful? Either kutta mar gaya, either billi mar gaya. We are just talking about some guy who has died or something happened. Now we are talking about some shooting or 280 got shut down. Whenever we read some news, there is always some sadness. There is hardly any time news which will give us joy. But spiritual information or spiritual knowledge is such that we will always feel joyful. We will feel nourished. That is how spiritual scriptures are. It is there to give joy to us. But still, after knowing all this, we take shelter of news 24/7, Aaj Tak, right? And then it is Kal Tak. Then it is boring. Next day, 1 week before, what is news for us? Now it is no longer news for us. But spiritual topics, Krishna book, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, such that whenever we read, we'll get joy. That's just the nature. We might. There was a story. Once a child came to his grandfather. I don't know, maybe I told this story before. And this child came to grandfather and said that I'm reading this Bhagavad Gita, but it's very hard to understand. I'm not able to understand this Bhagavad Gita. So this grandfather thought how to teach this guy. So he said there is a nearby this not jhara. You have like a bucket, but it is sealed with canes. So there is some holes in it, like bucket. In earlier times, that in sabji mandi they used to put vegetables on that. That new people will not villagers we can understand. So it's like a bucket, like a pot which is sealed by canes, right? So there are like small pores is there. So he said his grandfather told this child, you go to the nearby river and fill up water and come back. This child is not grandson. How will I put water in this? And it will dip. He said, don't ask questions. Just go to the nearby river, put water and come. So he went, kept some water in it, right? And by the time he reached back, the water was keep dripping and he reached. So he said, you're not doing proper work. Go again and get the water from the river. Go again, run and come. He again went and came back running. Still the bucket was empty, right? Whatever it is called. Then third time he again went and he said, this time I'll run back and come. He rushed like Usain Bolt and he came back and still the bucket was empty. And then the child was frustrated that he said, grandfather, I told you, there is no way because there is a holes in this bucket. And then the grandfather said, but see, the bucket is clean. Basically the bucket had coal before, so it was all blackish. But just by going back and coming back, just by the presence of water, slowly that bucket was getting clean. So similarly, Bhagavad is like that. Just by reading again, we might not understand what transformation it is doing in our life. But just by again reading, slowly, we are developing virtues. And that is the nature of Bhagavad Gita. And you can see, 2 days before, I was talking to one devotee and we were just sharing that how we were. And he said, every sinner has a past. Or you can say every sinner has a future also. Whatever, every devotee has a past. And we were just discussing that, what nonsense we used to do before coming to Krishna consciousness. And how this book, these devotees, they transformed our life. Right? Vaishnavas, these books, and these scriptures, all these transformed our life. Slowly, we will not see, within one day we will not see the transformation. But over a period of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, maybe 40 years, we will see those things which were actually, we were having bad habits. But those are all now dovetailed towards Krishna. A simple example that I told you many times. I used to be a movie buff. Every day, if the movie is coming, first day, first show, I have to see. Right? But now it has been transformed to watching dramas on Ismat Chopati or Mahavatar movie, whatever. However, but somehow or the other we have to see how we can dovetail our nature, which might be bad, but how we can dovetail it towards Krishna. Like second example I can give, I used to love eating. And now also, still I love eating. But I just try to eat Krishna Prasadam. First offer is offered to the Lordship, and then I eat. Also, all thanks to Manjari. She is the one who cooks everything. And then, So, our life should be transformed in such a way that whatever we are doing, Krishna is in the center. If Krishna is not in the center, then we will be in the center. Our selfish desires, our Maya will be in the center. Basically, how I can enjoy, that will be in the center. But if we are bringing Krishna in the center, then we are thinking how Krishna will be pleased. And it is not like, it can be a Khatvanga moment, like how Khatvanga, they just told you how Khatvanga, he realized I have no time and I am about to die anytime. And then he realized what is the goal of life. And he took shelter of Krishna immediately. Vaishika Maharaj tells that it's a Khatvanga moment. There will be time in your life where we realize that, man, what a rascal I am. I'm just wasting my time. I should take shelter of Krishna. Yes, he wrote an article, Khatvanga moment. Like that. He was a king who was doing all nonsense and then he realized that I'm wasting my life. So in our life also, when we keep reading and taking association of devotees, we realize that what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. So with that, so the point is we should take shelter of Krishna, and in today's yoga we should take shelter of Krishna in the form of sound representation, in the sense of taking shelter of words of Krishna in the sense of Bhagavad Gita. So with that, we will start chapter 12 Bhakti Yoga. You reached perfect time. Yes, yes, chapter 12. We'll again do quick revision. So, chapter 18. There are 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. Once I was asking one Indian to take Bhagavad Gita. And whenever you see an Indian, they always think that, Arey, Bhagavad Gita. I know Bhagavad Gita. Right? Then I asked him, so how many chapters are there in Bhagavad Gita? He said 19. So basically, we don't even know how many chapters are there in Bhagavad Gita. There are 18 chapters. And the 18 chapters are divided into how many parts? 3 parts. Right? 3 parts. First 6 chapters talk about
Kali Yoga.
Thank you so much. Yes. The middle 6 chapters talk about Bhakti Yoga. Right? 7 to 12, Bhakti Yoga. The last 6 chapters talk about I always discuss this. At least this much we should remember. First chapters talk about Karma Yoga, middle 6 chapters talk about Bhakti Yoga, and last 6 chapters talk about Karma Yoga. So next class, hopefully we finish this, or definitely next class we will finish this chapter. After that we will start about Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is knowledge, and you will understand Jnana Yoga is so tough. That's why Krishna is kept at the end. Once you have understood everything, now Jnana Yoga. Right? And why this Bhagavad Gita started? Because Arjuna was confused. Kya kare ke na kare? Whether I should fight or not fight. And he had 5 reasons. What are the 5 reasons? C, E, F, B, I. Right? C, E, F, B, I. Compassion. Basically, you should have compassion. So he was confused that if I kill this, then where is the point of compassion? If all of this gets killed, then with whom will I enjoy? Right? Because you need to have people to enjoy with, right? Right? So like, people say, right? Father say, मैं किसके लिए कमा रहा हूँ? तुम्हारे लिए ना. With whom will I enjoy? Right? With kids or with spouse, whatever it is. So Arjuna was thinking that if no one will be remaining with whom will I enjoy? Anybody don't understand Hindi? Everybody understand? Oh, you don't? I will be careful. Okay. So yeah. So second is enjoyment. He's saying that if there is no relatives remaining, because in the war people will be killed. Right? If no people are remaining, then with whom will I enjoy? So what will I do of this kingdom? Right? So first he talks about compassion. Second he talks about enjoyment. Third he talks about fear of sinful reactions. If I kill them, then I might get some sins. And then he talks about destruction of family relation. Because some of the people who will be killed will be elderly also. If elderly people are killed, then who will tell us what is dharma, what is adharma? And if that is not there, then the family tradition will be destroyed. Right? And finally, because of all these reasons, he was indecisive. He was not able to understand what should I do, whether I should fight or not fight. And that's where he takes shelter of Krishna, and then Bhagavad Gita starts. From second chapter, Bhagavad Gita starts from verse number 2.7, where Arjuna takes shelter of Krishna. This is a very, very important verse. Parpanya dosho bahata swabhava prichhami tvam dharma samudha chiratvam means you. Yashre yasyanish bruhitan me Shishyas means student. I want to become your student. Shishyaste ham shadi mantvam prakannam. I'm taking shelter of you. Now you please guide me. After Arjuna told Krishna that you please guide me, only then Krishna started speaking. Yes, and Arjuna said, Krishna said, Arey main I will tell you what you are supposed to do. Krishna waited for Arjuna to say that I want to take shelter of you. Only then, we say that free advice. Krishna is not like that. They will give you free advice. Krishna was waiting for Arjuna to take shelter, to understand that he is your guru. Only then Krishna started speaking. The translation is, now I am confused about my duty, like indecisiveness. And I have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and my soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. And then Krishna started speaking. From 2.10 and 2.11, he started speaking. So then after that he started speaking Karma Yoga, and then he reached chapter 7 where he started speaking about Bhakti Yoga. And then we are at chapter number 12. Okay. Now chapter number 12 is divided into 3 parts. Verse number from 1 to verse number 7. Then 8 to 12, and 13 to 20. Verses number 1 to verses number 7 talks about whether Krishna is personal or impersonal, and what is better. Personal worship is better or impersonal worship is better. Sometimes we get so frustrated. The root cause of frustration is having desires. Because the desires, when not fulfilled, leads to frustration. So impersonal people feel that if I have more desires, then I will be happy. But actually that will not be the case. We will see, and then Krishna says that no, personal worship is better. That's what you see Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, they are so nicely dressed up by Ishori and by Manjari. So that's a personal worship. And Krishna is saying to Arjuna that personal worship is better because impersonal worship is very troublesome and little stressful also. Like that. So from verse number 1 to verse number 7, Krishna talks about that. And then Krishna talks about his accommodating nature. From verse number 8 to verse number 11. In verse number 8, he talks about this is the topmost thing. Krishna tells to Arjuna that if you are completely absorbed in me, that's the topmost thing. Smarana. You are only with your mind and intelligence, you are just thinking about me. We'll see here first. You want to read? What you can read.
Translation.
We're just revising from 8 to 11, then we'll start with verse number 12. Everybody is with me. No?
Just fix your mind upon me.
Everybody is able to see 8 verse.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt.
Right? So with mind and intelligence, you put your mind on me. You put your intelligence on me or you put absorption in me. But someone might say, "Hey, this is too much to handle. I mean, I can't think of Krishna all the time. When I see my manager, I can't see of Krishna." It might Then Krishna is saying abhyasa. Then practice. If you're not able to put your mind and intelligence on me, then practice to put your mind and intelligence on me. 9th verse.
My dear Arjun, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti. In this way, develop a desire to attain me.
Right? Because when you are doing sadhana, sadhana means practicing, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Or when you are doing active seva, service, or when you are doing some reading of scriptures, then when we do all this, we develop a longing to meet Krishna. Right? See, when you are reading about, or when you are watching Shah Rukh Khan movie, then you want to meet Shah Rukh Khan. Right? I remember when we were, I had a friend who used to stay in Pali Hill. You know Pali Hill? I think it's called Pali Hill in Mumbai. It's one of the posh areas. So all these actors and Bollywood, they stay there, Bollywood people. So one of my friends used to stay there. So she told me once, I have tickets for Pachvi Fail or Pachvi Pass, something like that. Shah Rukh Khan had started that serial, Pachvi Fail or Pachvi Pass.
Yes.
Pass, okay, pass. So something like that. And then she told me, I have tickets to, as an audience, if you want, you can see that. So I got so excited because I had seen on him on reel. I was going to see him real. So I went and watched, wasted my time for 5-6 hours because 3 hours waiting was there. And then I told to my relatives also. They got even more excited. And they said, can we get also tickets? So I told my friend, can you get more tickets? So for the next series, next class, next season, whatever. So they nicely dressed and all that. Shah Rukh Khan is coming to see me only like that. You know, all my relatives. They dressed themselves nicely just to reach. Why? Because see, they have seen on the reel. Now what do you want to do? Now they were developing the longing to see him in real. So like that, when we read about Krishna, we develop the longing to meet Krishna. That is abhyasa. It's called abhyasa yoga. Yoga means to connect with Krishna. How? By practice. So verse number 9 talks about that. Practice yoga. You practice, and through that you will connect with Krishna. There is a verse in Shubhashita. It says, Markatasya surapanam madhye vrishchigatam shanam tanmadhye bhuta sancharo yadva tadva bhavishyati. Markatasya surapanam. Markat means monkey. Markatasya surapanam. Imagine a monkey who has drunk a lot of alcohol. Right? Markatasya surapanam. Madhye vrishchigatam shanam. That monkey who has drunk nicely, whatever brand you know. he has drunk nicely. Now he has been stung by a scorpion. Okay, Markatasya Surapanam Madhye Vrishchikatamshanam Tan Madhye Bhuta Sancharanam. That monkey who has been drunk nicely and who has been stung by a scorpion, and now in that ghost also entered. Tan Madhye Bhuta Sancharo Yadva Tadva Bhavishyati. Imagine what that monkey will do in the future. And then it is said that our mind is like that monkey. Right? It is so hard to focus. Right now also you will be thinking, some of you will be thinking, hey Prabhuji, when this he will stop. Right? Some of you might be thinking. So mind takes us here, there, everywhere. That is the nature of the mind. But how we can take our mind towards Krishna is by abhyas. By doing activities which will take us to Krishna. By doing deity worship, like for example, or by cooking for Krishna, like that. Or by cooking for Vaishnavas, like Ruchi Mataji and their entire team. As soon as Thursday happens, next day they are thinking what will they cook for next Thursday. Like Manjari and they discuss. So Vaishnavas, they are at least engaging their mind in serving or in how we will serve Krishna. Right? Like that. So somehow or the other, Yena Tena Prakarena Mana Krishna Niveshya is a verse from Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Yena Tena Prakarena. Some way or the other, we want to engage our mind in Yena Tena. Somehow or other, we want to engage our mind in Krishna. Right? If no other way, then produce a movie or Mass of that, where at least people will come to the movie and will watch. Somehow or the other, engage them in Krishna's service. So, verse number 9 talks about time.
For Narasimha movie, the director and the producer was not getting any breaks. He waited 5 years, he went everywhere, and then someone got ready to produce. He mortgaged everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and in fact, the producer, correct. The producer is one of the Piramals. Is the head of that. He's the chairman of. So such. I mean, they were the ones who are producing this movie. So, anyways, we'll go to the next verse. So now someone will say, "Hey, Prabhuji, this much of the time is not there. In the night outage comes, this comes, that comes, and I become very busy. So what? So then what we can do? Right? We are very, very busy people. So then 10th verse. 10th is saying, if you cannot practice, then Sahayam, help me in my preaching movement, or help Vaishnavas in their preaching movement. Who is the next who will read? Yeah, go.
If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti,
Regulations of Bhakti Yoga. This is Abhyasa Yoga. If you are not able to do that also, then
just try to work for me. Because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage.
because you will basically you're meeting someone, right? Some Harsh, he brought his roommate. Right? What is your name, Prabhu? Ritansh. Right? So like that, supporting. Right? He heard something, he's helping. Okay, you also come. Why not you also come? Right? Bringing others towards Krishna. Right? We are bringing others towards Shah Rukh Khan. Right? Some people do like that. You also watch that movie. Instead of that, this is more of Sattva. Sattva good. That we are bringing people towards Krishna. Right? Krishna. Once one devotee said that we are busy watching Harry Potter. Instead of that, we should watch Harry Potter. We should watch Krishna. And Krishna has so many amazing passages. You read Krishna book. But today we were reading. Some of us we were reading. I mean, it's so amazing. It is so joyful just reading Krishna book. I mean, it is repetitive what I am saying. But I was just amazed. We were just happy. And especially reading with Vaishnavas. Because Vaishnavas will be so happy reading it. That is contagious. You will also feel, he is getting some joy. I am not getting it, but kuch to hai. Something is that this guy is getting happiness out of it. That is contagious. Yeah. So, if you are not able to abhyas, if you are not able to practice, then Krishna is saying, do sahayam. Help me. Help in my endeavor. And if you are not able to do that also, then Krishna is saying, do this. Maybe you can read. Go like this. Page 11th verse.
If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated.
If someone you come to the temple, serve nicely. If you're not able to do that also, let's say you're very, very busy, very some. Like, it's like maybe CEO of NVIDIA, something like that, different, whatever it is, or some Amazon. You're so busy, you have no time only. Then what you can do is do at least some welfare work. It is called karma phala tyaga. Don't get entangled by the fruits of the work. Try to do some good activity like that. So that is what Krishna is saying. Basically, 10 talks about supporting Krishna, and 11 verse talks about supporting the community. Do some welfare activity, do something nice. Like that. And then someone asked me last time, "Oh, Prabhuji, ye bhi nahi ho. This also I can't do. Now what?" So then we come to the non-Krishna conscious activities. But Krishna tells us also, that's why Krishna is so accommodating. Krishna is so accommodating. Krishna, see, many of the, I spoke last time also, some of the scriptures that you would have heard of, or some other religious books, they'll say, my way or highway. If you don't surrender to me, then you will go in hell perpetually. And then people say like that. Krishna is not like that. Krishna is very, very accommodating. And that's why he is so merciful. That's why the merciful nature is coming to Krishna. We are addressing this nature of merciful to Krishna because he is merciful. Right? If you can't do this, then do this. You can't do this. And then Ashwa Krishna is saying, if you can't even surrender to me, then at least do this. Imagine, nobody says like this. But Krishna is saying that is his accommodating nature. So 12th verse will be now. And our aim is, at least I want to do some half of 13 to 20, and next week we will try to finish the chapter. Can someone close the... Right? Now see Manjari also, kids are there, and kids in general are very hard to handle. I was told last time in class that when we started our Bhakti Riksha, one goal that we had was no kids. Then we only had kids, no option. But then we realized that if we engage kids in Krishna consciousness, then they are the biggest asset. They can help in spreading Krishna consciousness. When we go out for book distribution, the best book distributors are actually kids. Because just seeing them, people feel, hey, see these kids are nicely taking up Krishna consciousness, we should also do something or get our kids. Hamara to kuch nahi hua, at least kids will. I didn't do anything, but at least kids can do something nice. So anyways, we'll go to the 12th verse now. You can repeat after me. Now Krishna is saying that you can't do smarana, you can't do swadhyay or what was it? Sadhana. You can't do sahim, you can't support me, and you can't do satkarma. You can't do any welfare activity also. Now what can you do? Okay. But to be honest, we should be at least on the level of 9th and 10th verse. Because we are coming into this class, that means we are interested in Krishna. Right? We are interested in Krishna. So we'll do now verse number 12. But Krishna is saying for those people who are really lower of the lower natures, what can they do? How can they come? Shreya Vijnanam Abhyasaj Jnana Dhyanam Vishishyate Dhyanat Karma Phala Tyagas Tyaga Shanti Anantaram. Karma Phala Tyagas is the one that is talking about 11th verse. Right? We'll discuss. Translation. Who is next?
If you cannot take to this practice,
Correct. Which practice? All the three you are not able to do. 4. 8, 9, 10, 11. All 4 you are not able to do. Then
engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind.
right? So Krishna is saying if you can't do that, right? If you can't do that, then below that is dhyana. Meditate. Meditate means focus your mind, control your mind. Because if you are able to control your mind, you will also be able to give up the results of the activities. Below. So topmost is what? Smarana. Then sadhana or swadhyay or seva. Below that sahayam. Below that satkarma. Below that satkarma is also karma phala tyaga. Basically give up the fruits of activities so that you can do something good for others. If you can't do that also, then do dhyana. This is not dhyana yoga. Dhyana yoga is doing meditation to connect to Krishna. Yoga means yujya. It comes from the root word dhatu. Root dhatu, yujya. Yujya means to connect with Krishna. So using your meditation towards Krishna. But this is only dhyana. Dhyana means just trying to control your mind. Just trying to control your mind. If you are not able to do that also, then cultivate knowledge through scriptures. Because when you are developing knowledge, then you will understand that what is the goal of life? That I should at least have some sthirita in my life. That is then dhyana. So dhyana then karma. That is slow ladder. This is slow ladder. So jnana, develop some jnana. Or if you can't, above that is dhyana. Above dhyana is karma phala tyaga and then 8, 9, 10. So this is the end of the second section, which is accommodating nature of Krishna. Right? Accommodating nature of Krishna. Now Krishna is saying, who are the devotees? What are the virtues that is very dear to me? Right? Because till now Krishna is talking about devotees, right? He's about 8 verse is talking about how you can focus or you can completely be absorbed in me. Right? Now from 13 to 20, Krishna is going to speak about what kind of virtues you should develop, which attracts me. Which attracts me. Because we want to attract to Krishna, we want to absorb towards Krishna. If we want to get absorbed towards Krishna, for that we need to develop some qualities. So from 13 to 20, now Krishna is going to talk about various qualities. Now we'll go a little bit fast. Every day we are doing 1 week, we are doing 1 verse. And now we're going to everybody is on the same page, right? We'll skip the. We'll read the second paragraph. Purport. What is your name? Sorry. Mohan. Wow. Mohan is the name of Krishna. Thank you, Mohan. See, this was the culture of. I have told this many times. This was the culture of India, especially South India part, Southern India part. People have names connected to Krishna. So many different names, right? Srinidhi. These are all names which connects with Krishna. Nowadays we have Kaira, Myra, Sarah, Tyra, Kairia. These kind of names are there. And they will say, oh, this is related to this, that. Ancient times, the names were connected with Krishna. Such a culture was there. Such a nice culture was there. Sorry if your name, it's okay, but I mean, I've seen once I was in park. I mean, I was shocked. Because we asked, right? Someone will ask my kid, then I will also ask. You have to also ask, what is your name? And the name was like one came with Kaira, then Saira, then Myra, then Kaira. I mean, there was all Ira only was there. 5, 6, that time I came to know this is the new trend coming up that Ira ending starting with Kaira. And one first time when Kishori was born, my friends from India they were asking what is the name. So I typed Kishori, and instead of typing S, it was A. So it was Kiahor, and that's how it went. And I didn't realize. They were saying, wow, what a name, what a name. And I scrolled up. And they were saying, unique name, wow, what a unique name, this, that. Then I saw it was Kayori was name. I said, hey, wait. I was telling Manjari that these names, they were feeling unique. What is unique? So, anyways, Mohan, very nice name. Please read the second purport.
In summary, to reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the highest goal.
Everybody is able to see, no?
Yeah. There are 2 processes. One process is by gradual development, and the other process is direct. Devotional service in Krishna consciousness is the direct method, and the other method involves renouncing the fruits of one's activities. Then one can come to the stage of knowledge, then to the stage of meditation, then to the stage of understanding the super soul, and then to the stage of super personality.
But see, this is a slow process, right? Dhyana, so much. But one can directly take to the level of Bhakti Yoga. That's why I said, we should not think, oh, nice. I'll come like this, I'll do some karma, this and that. We already know the knowledge. Right? Jnana Yoga means developing the knowledge to connect to Krishna. So we should at least be on the stage of 9th and 10th, where we are helping Krishna, or at least we are doing our sadhana, swadhyaya and seva. Coming to temple once a week, at least Sunday or Saturday, hearing from some great Vaishnavas like Vaishnava Maharaj, like Radhashmi is there, coming to temple, having prasadam, having eating, serving in the temple, serving in the kitchen, like 14th and 20th will be cooking for almost 1,000 people. 1,000 devotees will be cooking, 14th and 20th. Another app, please come and help us. We will be cooking. So, anyways.
One may take either the step-by-step process or the direct.
Right, step-by-step process we can take. That is also one option. Or we can take direct process.
The direct process is not possible for everyone. Therefore, the indirect process is also good. It is, however, to be understood that the indirect process is not recommended for Arjuna because he is already at the stage of loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord.
Like he didn't say, okay, let me open a book and I start reading now. And he didn't say Arjuna. Arjuna didn't say like that, right? So Arjuna already, he said at the end of the chapter in the entire Bhagavad Gita, Krishna asked Arjuna, so you do what you feel right. Now what have you decided? Then Arjuna tells to Krishna, Yatha Chesi Tada Kuru. Whatever you have said, Krishna, I'll just follow. That is Bhakti Yoga. We are just aligning ourselves to Krishna's way. We are doing everything, but just aligning our desires to Krishna's desire. Whatever Krishna wants, I am doing that. And how will we know that? By taking association of people who are doing that. Once one of the hippie, he asked Srila Prabhupada how to know who is the bona fide guru. Now he was a hippie. Hippie was drunkard and all. So Krishna wanted to explain. Srila Prabhupada wanted to explain him in his language. So Srila Prabhupada said, Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. So Srila Prabhupada said, whoever is addicted to Krishna the most, he is the guru. Because they were drug addicts and all. So Srila Prabhupada told in his language, whoever is addicted to Krishna the most, we should take him as a guru. Addicted to Krishna means he cannot think of anything else but Krishna. Sorry, go ahead.
It is for others who are not at this stage. For them, the gradual process of renunciation, knowledge, meditation, and realization of the super soul and Brahman should be followed. But as far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, it is a direct method that is trust. Everyone is advised to take to the direct method and surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna.
So from 13th verse, now you will see virtues of devotee. See, sometimes we are behaving like a devotee. Not behaving, but at least we are showing. But the virtues are like the demon. Right? Sometimes it might be possible. You might not be talking to people properly. All those kind of things. Right? One has to also develop the qualities of a devotee. So that's what Krishna is now talking from 13 to 20. What are the virtues or qualities that one should develop? Or a devotee has these qualities. And now we can see, when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we will see all these qualities in a devotee. All these qualities we can see in a devotee. Okay, we read now. Adveshta sarva bhutanam.
Adveshta sarva bhutanam.
Maitra karuna eva cha.
Maitra karuna eva cha.
Maitra. See, the words only you can. Karuna, compassion. Maitra means maitri, friendship. Adveshta, according to me, let's see what is. Yeah, correct. Dveshta means envy. Dvesh. Not adveshta means not envy. So, nirmamo nirahankara.
Nirmamo nirahankara.
Sama dukkha sukha kshami.
Sama dukkha sukha kshami.
Ahankar. Ahankar means it's my car. If you it's my car, this is ahankar. You should not have that. It's my car. Ahankar. Nirahankar. You should not have any false ego. So, sama dukkha sukha kshami. This is so hard, right? Imagine on dukkha or sukha, they're still equipoised. But we see that in the life of devotees. We see that. Yeah, I told you many times of Bhakti Tirth Maharaj. He was lying on the deathbed. He was about to leave the world. But loud kirtan was going on. And he was holding the hands of Radharam Swami Maharaj. And he told that if anyone wants to exchange the position of mind with anyone else, I don't want to exchange. Imagine he was going through so much pain. His leg also was cut. Because the cancer was going through the entire body. So his leg was also chopped. Imagine so much pain. And still he's saying, I don't want to exchange the position. And because he was getting so much bliss in that hearing of that Krishna Katha, that Kirtan. That is a devotee. Devotee is always equipped. You see the life of Pandavas. Sometimes we have this, right? Why good things happen to bad people, as if we think we are good people. Right? So, but we say like that. But then we see the life of Pandavas. They went through so much, but they never complained to Krishna. They never complained to Krishna. Arjun never said, Krishna, what is this man? What have you done in my life? Never said like that. So much he had faith in Krishna. Whatever Krishna is doing is good for me. Sama dukkha sukha kshama. This equipoise is very, very hard. But we can develop it when we are associating with devotees. And we see them and we understand that how we can develop also. Sattushta satatam yogi.
Santushta satam yogi.
Yatatma drida nishchaya.
Yatatma drida nishchaya.
Mayyat pita mano buddhi.
Mayyat pita mano buddhi.
Yomat bhakta same priyaha.
Yomat bhakta same priyaha.
Once, some of you might know Malini Mataji. How many of you know Malini Mataji? She is the lead of the entire book distribution in ISKCON that we do, especially ISKCON Silicon. Once she got hurt in her leg. It was a fracture. Still, she used to go for book distribution every Sunday. Like that, she was limping and she used to do book distribution. And when you used to ask her how is her health, she was always smiling, going on, things are okay. Santushto satam, sama dukkha sukha. Whatever is there externally, I am happy. Still, my main thing is I don't want to separate out myself from Krishna. And somehow or the other I want an opportunity to serve Krishna. It's very hard, but it's possible. When we see others, then we get inspired. When we see others, we get inspired. Translation. You read, no? Yeah. And Rishabh read.
One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities. One who
See, a devotee who has the virtues is an asset to Krishna. And a devotee who has not these virtues are a liability to Krishna. Think about it. Because, see, if you are a Vaishnava, you are saying you are a Vaishnava, but you behave like a demon. You know, this is this. That's why, like, see, in movies, what they portray Hindu priest. Right? They're just, right? So, it's a liability to Krishna. We need to become an asset to Krishna. Just by seeing you, one should feel inspired to serve Krishna. I'll tell you the same story of Malini Mataji. Malini Mataji, when she came, she got married to a devotee, to Vaishnava, Shivas Pandit Prabhu. So she didn't know what does chanting of 16 rounds means. So before marriage, Shivas Pandit Prabhu told that I'm doing 16 rounds. She said maybe 15, 16 rounds will take 16 minutes. Something like that. So when she got married, she found that this guy is sitting for 2 hours in the morning and chanting Hare Krishna Mantra. But she started appreciating. But then there is one devotee who came to their house to stay. His name is Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj. You can Google. Earlier his name was Devamrit Prabhu. Later on became Devamrit Maharaj. So he stayed with them, and Devamrit Maharaj, he became sick. For one day he became sick, and for almost 5-6 days, Malini Mataji was just serving and just observing him and just serving. And just by that serving, she started chanting 16 rounds. Just by that serving. And because she saw what a Vaishnava, how he is living his life. Just by seeing that. So just one should become a conduit to Krishna. Right? Not a bad conductor to Krishna. Just seeing that. One good conductor we should become. Good conductor, bad conductor. Not a rubber. Right? Good conductor. Like seeing you, one should feel inspired to see Krishna.
who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
Like example Sunday. Whenever a Sunday I hear Maharaj's class, Vaishnavar's yoga class, every time after the Sunday class I feel next day I'll get up in the morning and I'll try to chant my names. I feel inspired to chant Krishna's names. Because by the side I feel so things are going tight, this, that, whatever, mind plays tricks. When you hear from some great Vaishnava, from devotee of the Lord, pure devotee of the Lord, you feel inspired. I want to chant, I want to listen. Okay, we'll go ahead. There is for the interest of time. Sorry, can you ask Manjari if there is any other planning she has, or 8 o'clock we can start Prashant. Just want to make sure. Okay, we'll go to the next verse. Yasmano vijite loko.
Yasmano vijite loko.
Lokano vijite chayah.
Lokano vijite chayah.
Harsha marsha bhayodvegaye.
Harsha bhayodvegaye.
Muktoya sachame priyah.
Muktoya sachame priyah.
See this line. Ya sachame priyah. Bhakti ya sachame priyah. Basically, Krishna is again saying these people are very dear to me. These people are asset to me. These people are not liabilities to me. So this line last time will come again and again. Who is going to read next? Rohan.
He by whom no one is put into difficulty, and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, in verity is very dear to me.
Very dear to me. Very dear to me. Priya. Priya means very dear to me. These purports are beautiful. Okay, let's read this one. This is a really good purport. Okay, who will read? You read? You read too? Now, go ahead, Piyush.
A few of devotees' qualifications are further being described. No one is put into difficulty, anxiety, fearfulness, or dissatisfaction by such a devotee.
See, when there is a relationship, no? Let's say husband and wife or friends, there are two things that happens. You disturb the other partner and you get disturbed. These two things will happen. Do you agree? You will disturb the other person and you will feel disturbed. When you are a devotee of the Lord, the relationship is you will not agitate others and you will not get disturbed. You will not get disturbed. And you will not disturb others also. That is how the relationship happens. In the center is Krishna. And in every relationship, we can have Krishna at the center. Basically, we can always think that how I can help other person to elevate in his Krishna. We should not agitate the other person. We should elevate the other person's consciousness and think the other person should feel. I mean, in my life only, I remember when I started my Krishna. I mean, when Manjari started her Krishna consciousness, I mean, she was the one who got really fired up. I was a little lethargic. And Yahoo, I told this many times, Yahoo, those times, those golden days, when Yahoo used to serve free Krishna, free food, free food it used to serve. So, but Manjari realized that still it's tamasic because it's not offered to Krishna. And every morning she used to get up at 4 a.m. and she used to cook. And she tried hard to bring me also in some raise my consciousness also. So, the relationship should be in such a way that one partner is trying to elevate others' consciousness. Literally, I remember once there was a time. She tells me after the class, you tell a lot about me. Once she was to class, time when she wants to go to book distribution, and I didn't go to write, and it was going far and all. So she used to cry in front of Krishna. And somehow make some arrangement that I can go to book distribution like that. So much lollyum to serve Krishna. So much lollyum to serve Krishna. Anyways, so then Krishna gave me driving license. Sorry, there you were.
Since a devotee is kind to everyone, he does not act in such a way as to put others into anxiety. At the same time, if others try to put a devotee into anxiety, he is not disturbed. It is by the grace of the Lord that he is so practiced that he is not disturbed by any outward disturbance. Actually, because the devotee is always engrossed in Krishna consciousness and engaged in devotional service, such material circumstances cannot move.
And you might think, the Lord is so hard. You might feel like that, but believe me, you can see Vaishnavas around. When you come to temples and when you keep coming, you will see that people are actually possessing these kinds of qualities. And this will happen when we keep reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, stories after stories. When people like Amrish Maharaj, great Vaishnavas, they are put into difficulty, how they are reacting to the situation, how they are responding to the situation. And just by seeing that, we can learn so much. The basic problem in life is, if we think, Pandit, what you are saying, if we think that the problems of our life is coming not because we are separated from Krishna, then we are in illusion. The problems of life are coming because we are seeing the problems as problems, it's because we are separated from Krishna. Otherwise, we will see that Krishna is trying to teach me something from this. Then those problems are not problems, but learn, some opportunity to learn from it. And it is hard. But just by going again, practicing again, seeing other Vaishnavas, learning from their stories, we can actually we can raise our consciousness. And that's why it is so important to take association of Vaishnavas.
Generally, a materialistic person becomes very happy when there is something for his sense gratification in his body. But when he sees that others have something for their sense gratification and he has not, he is sorry and envious. When he is expecting...
When I don't have something and others have. Like, see, ads only like that. Onidas. Neighbors pride, but neighbors envy. Yeah? Something that tagline was that. Onida, envy. If you have Onida, then neighbors will be envying you. And you will feel happiness. So, see, the neighbors getting envy. See, this is what is, shoved into our mentality. Right? So, this is what is getting said.
When he is expecting some retaliation from an enemy, he is in a state of fear, and when he cannot successfully execute something, he becomes dejected. A devotee who is always transcendental to all these disturbances is very dear to Krishna.
We were doing Jivan Yatra last week, we couldn't do for some reason, so we are trying to do this week. Let's see how it goes. This week also, last moment things were planned. Okay, we can leave it up. We'll do last words. But the takeaway, one takeaway is, please try to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Every day, try to make like a habit. Every day you will chant at least 20 times. Or best is 108 and bestest, if there is a word in dictionary, is chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna. 16 rounds. When you're really sincere, serious, who is looking for some spiritual elevation. And every day just read at least one verse of Bhagavad Gita and try to take association of devotees. Once a week, try to attend temple. Visit temple at least once a week. Anapeksha Shuchirdaksha
Anapeksha Shuchirdaksha
Udasino Gatavyatha
Udasino Gatavyatha
Sarvarambha Parityagi
Sarvarambha Parityagi
Yo Mad Bhakta Same Priyaha
Yo Mad Bhakta Same Priyaha
Mad Bhakta Same Priyaha Bhakta Same Priyaha Mukto Same Priyaha. This will keep on coming. Translation. Who is reading next? Rishi.
My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains.
He is not careless. He is not careless. Without cares means if things are happening something wrong, then he will not put his entire consciousness into that.
Free from all pains and not striving for some result is very dear to me.
Okay, we'll read the purport. These are important purport that should try to. It is again I would say it is hard, but when we keep practicing, we can appreciate. Harsha, you want to read?
Money may be offered to a devotee, but he should not struggle to acquire
Right, it is important. Why this line is there? Sometimes in the name of money, we start working from 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. 24/7. There is no stop money. Weekends also doing that. I mean, sometimes it is okay, but if we are doing too much, then imagine what will our consciousness be? It's just become. In dream also we'll see our manager. Right, that will be our situation. Do we really want to see? It's up to you, but see, when we are sleeping, we want to see Krishna. We want to see Krishna. So it is the choice is ours. Right? It is like we say that between B and D, it is C. Between birth and death, C is choice. Choice is ours. What we want to see. Right? So we can do our whatever. Sometimes some days are there when things are really bad. We are working from 13, 14, 15, 16 hours. But if you are seeing this every day, this is happening, then we should really ask, imagine if you are working for 40 years of your life, more than half of your life you have spent in working only. This is the reason why we have taken birth. Next life again, Jananam Punanam and Punarapi Mananam. This is what we'll do again in the next life. From A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, then PhD and then MA, man. You will just keep on, things will keep on happening, again same thing. But you want to come out of the cycle of birth. So we can do as a duty we can do. It is our duty maybe to earn whatever based on our ashram we are. But to the extent that what we can. It is said simple living, high thinking. It should not be simply living, hardly thinking. Our life should be molded in such a way. Sometimes we have put so much debt on ourselves that we are working just to remove our debt. Right? And that from that we are becoming donkey. Just our life becomes so complicated. We need to ask this question again and again. What are we doing with our life? And as I see people, they are working like 20 hours and they are happy. And after that they are committing suicide because they are not able to cope up with their work. Right? So that's why they should not struggle to acquire it. It's a very poor state of mind and of consciousness. Sometimes you are proud that I work so much. No, it is like then there is no difference between donkey and you. And donkey also works 24/7. But the nature of human being is to inquire. Athato Brahma Jikwasam. Human beings are meant to inquire about higher reality. Recently I was listening to dogs will never say, I'm supposed to do this ritual. Cat will never say. Animals are not, they don't understand the higher consciousness. The human being can understand.
If automatically by the grace of the Supreme money comes to him, he is not agitated. Naturally, a devotee takes a bath at least twice in a day and rises early in the morning for devotional service.
Right? These are important. It's so simple. See, Krishna and Srila was talking about so basic, but this is also lacking. Taking bath every day. I remember in hostel once a week, then some deo and all. So tamasic. Imagine so tamasic it is. Tamasic is mode of ignorance. What kind of knowledge go inside? Right? It's so hard.
Thus, he is naturally clean both inwardly and outwardly. A devotee is always expert.
Expert is daksha. Daksha means expert.
A devotee is always expert because he fully knows the sense of all activities of life and he is convinced of the authoritative scriptures.
It is important. He is convinced. See, right now we are reading the thinking, I don't know if Krishna is there or not. That faith, that trust, that conviction is not there. But when we keep doing, when we develop faith, we develop faith in Krishna. Okay? A devotee never takes, go ahead.
A devotee never takes part of a particular party. Therefore, he is carefree. He is never pained because he is free from all designations. He knows that his body is designation. So if there are some bodily pains, he is free. The pure devotee does not endeavor for anything which is against the principles of devotional service. For example, constructing a big building requires great energy, and a devotee does not take to such business if it does not benefit him by advancing his devotional service. He may construct a temple for the Lord, and for that he may take all kinds of anxiety, but he does not construct a big house for his personal relations.
A person who has earned a lot, but he has no money to give to the temple or to sadhus, is actually known as a miser. Not a miser who is saving a lot of money. A miser is a person, it's Kripana and a Brahmana. Brahmana means one who is selfless, one who gives. Brahmana gives not just gyan, he also gives money if he has. Similarly, Kripana is the one who is holding everything. That's a Kripana. And we don't want to become Kripana, we want to become Brahmana. Giving mentality should be. Dhanashuddhi. We are earning so much, we are in Bay Area. Right? We have money at our back end point. We should use that Lakshmi to some extent, to whatever capacity we are comfortable in Krishna service. We should do some donation. That's when it is Dhanashuddhi. We do Graha Shuddhi by, doing some yajnas and all. That is Graha Shuddhi. That way we should do Dhana Shuddhi. We're doing some donations to whatever capacity we can do. And to some people who are using it for Krishna service. We can do some donations so that the money can be used in serving or for cooking for all the Vaishnavas who are coming to the temple. Some different ways. Food for life. So with that we will end here. Now I'll do Jhulan Yatra. As we discussed that whatever we do it for Krishna. Usually this month, even in Vrindavan, it is very hot. So during that time, Radha and Krishna, how to give them joy. So the gopis used to place them on the slide like that, and then they used to give them slide. In the way say that because when there is full air coming, then you feel very nice, right? Like that. So similarly, for everything that we do is a celebration in Vrindavan. When Krishna runs away from the battlefield, it's a celebration. It is known as Ranchod. He's saying Ranchod. When he eats, he steals the gopis' clothes, then it's considered a festival. When he's stealing butter, it's a festival. So everything whatever happens in Krishna's life, it is a festival. So like that right now, we are having a festival which is known as Jhulan Yatra, where we give swing to Krishna and Radha Krishna. And usually it is done when the Balram Jayanti starts till just before Janmashtami. But for some reason we were not able to do. So since Sunday is a Radha Ashtami, we thought why not do on the day of appearance day of Srimati Radharani. And again, please, it's a humble request. Please attend this Sunday's program. We will try to put it in the group. We have so many time to go different places. We should also take out time to visit temples, especially ISKCON Sri Temple, where appearance and we have Abhishek of Srimati Radharani. That is the only day when we show feet of Srimati Radharani. Towards the entire year, we will never show. We will always see the feet covered by her dress. But that one day, we will show it. And we also one of the Hirakula Mataji, she will also place the feet of shoes of Srimati Radharani on everybody's head. This will be a line and all. So it is a very spiritual experience. So it's a humble request to please come on that date. We'll put on the WhatsApp group. If you're not part of the WhatsApp group, you can let Acyuta Chaitanya Prabhu or many other devotees are there. You can just let them know and we can add you in the group. So you are approved. So with that, what we do is, now devotees can do a 90-degree turn